Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Our reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and today we will be starting the 16th Adhyaya, Daiva Sura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, the yoga of the division of between the divine and the demonical. The division, the description of those who are going to reach Purushottama, of those who are going to, who are on the path of liberation, and just the reverse of them, the demonical, those evil, the wretched ones, who can never get on the path of liberation, who will just keep on, plundering in the darkness. They don't know what is light. They are never going to get the enlightenment. And Sri Krishna is going to tell us in this 16th Adhyaya about these two different types of personalities, different types of characterizations, the divine and the demonical. Now, just to recap what the last Adhyaya was about, the Purushottama Yoga, Sri Krishna started off with that beautiful example of the Ashwatha tree, giving an example of the Ashwatha tree to connote this deadly sansara. This sansara, which is just taking all the jivas in its grasp, in its fold, in its net, and just trying to get them attached with several desires, and ensuring that these jivas, they continue to be in the cycle of birth and death. There is no liberation for them. That is the trick the Maya is playing in the form of Prakriti, in the form of that Ashwatha tree. And Sri Krishna told us that entanglement with this Ashwatha tree, the roots of this Ashwatha tree, which are getting firmly embedded in the soil in the form of our attachment to enjoying the worldly life, that can be cut asunder. With all the might, with all the strength, and with all the determination, ruthlessly, this tree can be cut asunder with that unique weapon, the sharp-edged weapon, the weapon of non-attachment, asanga. Don't get attached to these desires, don't get attached to these sense objects. You see, the mind will play its tricks of bringing together the senses, the sense organs and the sense objects in order to enjoy them. But while enjoying in them, then it is not just a one-way association of enjoy. It is always a two-way interaction. While seeking enjoyment, we also take the pains and the grief and sorrows and unhappiness and all those unwanted things. They come with these wanted things through the desires. So Sri Krishna says there is only one way to cut asunder. There is only one way to get out of this severe bondage, is using that sword, using that sharp-edged weapon of asanga, non-attachment. Just get detached. Renounce everything, tyaga, and get rid of this cycle of birth and death and come to me. And then Sri Krishna had told us about those great, how the Purushottama is different from the other two aspects of the Purusha itself. How the Supreme Self. Now, even the body is part of the Self, for that matter. And that's when Sri Krishna explained to us that how this physical body, how the indweller in this body, which has kind of detached from its parent, the Paramatman, how these three are connected, how these three are basically one and the same thing. But Sri Krishna says there is a difference between these two types of Purushas. The body is also part of Purusha, no doubt, and the indweller is also Purusha. But Sri Krishna says these two are sort of inferior kind of Purushas, because the body, the Deha, is Kshara. The Deha is Kshara. Jivatman inside is Akshara. But still, it has got limitations. Jivatman still has the tendency to enjoy the creation, enjoy this samsara with the help of this body which Jivatman takes as the shelter, takes up the body as an instrument, takes up the body as a chariot to undergo this journey of so-called jiva, so-called life. So this is what Sri Krishna had told, that these two aspects of the ultimate one is Kshara, one is Akshara. But the ultimate one, the Uttama Purusha, the Purushottama, is beyond the aspects of Kshara and Akshara, is beyond the aspects of the destruction and the non-destruction. That great soul, that great Paramatman, that great Parabrahman is way above. Of course, above than the destructible body, about this fleeting body, but even way above the indweller which is there dwelling inside this physical stuff. And then Sri Krishna had told us that only way out of this entire rigmarole of this cycle is to get merged with the Purushottama. The moment this indweller starts yearning for going back to its supreme abode, going back to its Paramadhama, then no one can stop him. Then no one can stop that being inside, attaining oneness. And then Sri Krishna says that, what is the greatness of that Purushottama? He says, I am sustaining this. I have brought this creation into effect. Fine. It is my duty to sustain it. It is my duty to nourish this entire creation, whether it is animal kingdom, whether the plant kingdom. And then Sri Krishna had told that how I help in sustenance of all you beings, Arjuna. That even the digestive power that you are carrying inside you, inside every being is carrying inside. The digestive power I am that Vaishvanara, he says, I am that Jataragni, I am that gastric fire which helps you in digesting the food that you take and assimilate all the nutrients to keep your body strong and stout. So all this I am doing, Sri Krishna says, as being a Purushottama. You don't realize it, but that is how you are being nourished, that is how you are being sustained. And in my role as the destroyer, I also take you back to me once the cycle comes to an end. So this is what Sri Krishna told us in that Purushottama Yoga. And then finally he said that I have shared to you the secret most science. Those who are deluded, they can never understand this. But those undeluded souls, those beings from whom that veil of ignorance has been uplifted, they realize who I am and they come to me. Once they realize who I am, yo mam eva sammudho janati purushottamam, the asammuda, the moment they janati who is Purushottama, the moment they realize who is Purushottama, yas sarvavit bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. Having gained this knowledge, they become truly devoted to me and they start worshipping me. That's what Sri Krishna had told us. And then finally he said, I have shared to you this great secret. The great secret science I have shared with you. Iti guyhitamam shastram idamuktam mayanaga, O anaga, O sinless one. I have shared with you this great the secret of the science, the guyhitamam shastram. Etad buddhva buddhiman syat krutkrutishcha bharata. Having understood whatever I have told you in this Purushottama Yoga about the Jiva, about the Jivatman, about the Paramatman, once a being gets a realization of this truth, this ultimate secret truth that I have shared with you, the moment a Jiva gets to know, realizes this truth, then that is the end of it. That is krutakrutyascha. There is nothing to be done. That being is free from any of the karmas that he has done or that he did in the past or he did in this birth. He is totally free from it. Krutakrutyascha. It just leads to the end phase of that, in getting entrapped into the cycle of birth and death, and then there is nothing but liberation and enlightenment and illumination. So this is Sri Krishna taught us in the 15th shloka that we read last, and now let us see what Sri Krishna has to tell us about these characteristics, about the qualities, about the attributes of the people who are beings who are on the divine path and who are going into the doldrums, who are of that demonical nature. So this will again help us that in a way Sri Krishna on his own, he is clearing any of doubts we might have as to who is going to realize Purushottama. Like in the Gunati, the 14th adhyaya of Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, that Sri Krishna told us about the people, about the jivas who are going to go beyond the gunas. He told all those characteristics. He told all those attributes of those who are going to become gunatita. Now here in this, again he is going to deliberate further about those who are going to and those who can never. Those who can never get liberation, who will be embroiled in the cycle of birth and death, or even go down. Like in the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, he had told that with the Sattvika dominant, the being, the will go higher and higher and higher. With Rajasic, it will remain status quo. From where the journey ended, from the same spot it starts. But when tamas dominant, what happens? It is all going downwards. From the zero level, it will start going to -1, -2, -3, depending on the type of karmas that being does. It may be go to -infinity also. So Sri Krishna is in this shloka. There in that Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, he didn't explain so much about that asura aspect. Devi aspect, yes. Gunahita aspect he described to us. But here, now Sri Krishna is going to tell us about the divine aspect as well as the demonical aspect of the being in this creation. Let us see what the Lord has to teach us in this 16th shloka. śrībhagavānuvāca. The blessed Lord said, abhayaṃ sattvasaṃśuddhirjñānayogavyavasthitiḥ dānaṃ damaśca yajñaśca svādhyāyastapa ārjavam. Now these are some of the traits, these are some of the attributes, these are some of the qualities of the divine natured beings that Sri Krishna is first elaborating in the first few verses, first few shloka of this 16th adhyaya of Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Now, some of these qualities: abhayaṃ, fearlessness; sattvasaṃśuddhirjñānayogavyavasthitiḥ, the purity of heart, extreme purity of the heart; cleanliness of the heart, cleanliness of the inside for that matter. By heart, Sri Krishna means to say not just the physical heart, but the whole internal being is purified, is clean, is devoid of any taint. sattvasaṃśuddhirjñānayogavyavasthitiḥ. Dhyānayogavyavasthitiḥ is steadfast in knowledge and yoga. No, I mean, like jumping from one thing to another. Not like that. But steadfast, firm, with all conviction, with all intent, getting devoted to the aspect of knowledge and yoga. Jnana yoga avastitaha. And then dānaṃ, the alms-giving, the charity, giving, not taking. The usual tendency of our tendency is to take whatever we can from this world. That is what we always intend to do. But Sri Krishna says, dānaṃ, to give. Only those people who have that divine orientation, they can get into this quality of dānaṃ. Not dānaṃ from the point of view of earthing name and fame, no. The real charity, the real alms giving, the real offering. Dānaṃ. And then damaśca. Dama is what? Controlling the senses. That supreme power. Why allow the sense objects? Senses are doing their work of bringing in sense organs and sense objects in front of each other, and then the mind says, oh, my dear sense organ, that is the sense object, go and enjoy it. But the one who is divinely oriented, for that being, the senses will always be under control. Even if there is a sense object tempting that person, that person will perceive divinity in that sense object. That person will never perceive the pleasure-seeking side of that sense object. No, he will only see divinity in that sense object. Damaśca, so that is control of senses. Yajñaśca. Again and again, Sri Krishna talks about yajna. Now this yajna Sri Krishna is talking is not just the sacrificial ritual. It is the intense sacrifice. The intent to sacrifice the desires. Intent to sacrifice the ego. That is the true sacrifice. And therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna so many times he has used this word yajna. This yajna is not that just, the sacrificial fire or the ritual that is being performed as the yajna. No. It is actually the burning of me and mine. It is the burning of my ego. It is the burning of my desires. It is the burning of my arrogance. So that is what the yajna, that quality. Yajñaśca. And then svādhyāyah, study of shastras. Naturally, I mean, if one is not going to get entangled in the worldly pleasures, better to study about the Atman, svādhyāya. Learn about self. Who am I? What is my duty? What is my journey about? What is my destination? Why I have come here? What is the goal of my life? All this comes under svādhyāya. Svādhyāya. Studying about the self. Studying about this, not the small me, but the capital M, me. The Atman, not the aham. about the Atman. Svādhyāyastapa. Tapa is austerities. Anything to do with the divine focus, attaining the divine nature, anything which is done in that aspect, anything a spiritual aspirant works towards attaining the divinity, works towards realizing the divinity or realizing one's divine potential, that is tapaha, that is austerity. Whatever we do, we may lead a disciplined life, that is tapa. We may devote ourselves doing the nama japa, recitation of the name, chanting the holy name, and we may even perform tapas in the form of satsanga. So all the activities, whatever is being done in order to inculcate that divine realization, inculcate that sense of divine realization, who am I? Whatever is done in that manner is the tapa. Ārjavam. Ārjavam is straightforwardness, nothing hidden. Just whatever is the truth, tell it. Be blunt about it. Don't, keep on leaving anything to oneself. Whatever is there in the mind. And only people who don't have that crooked tendencies can remain straightforward. It is the act of harmonizing the thoughts, words, and deeds. Those who are straightforward, whatever they say, whatever they think, whatever they say, and whatever they do, all these three things, they are in tandem. There is no discrepancy between their thought, their words, and their deeds. So these are all the qualities that Sri Krishna has listed down here in the first shloka of the Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. So these qualities, let us keep it in mind. These we must remember forever, because these are the attributes that each and every being must exert itself to attain to these attributes, to attain to these qualities. Abhayaṃ sattvasaṃśuddhirjñānayogavyavasthitiḥ dānaṃ damaśca yajñaśca svādhyāyastapa ārjavam. Even one of them, if we inculcate, if even one of these attributes, if we get to our heart, we will automatically come to others also. That is the beauty of these attributes. You pick up one, you stick to it steadfastly. Of course, steadfastness also is one of the attributes that Sri Krishna has given in this list. Being steadfast, the steadfastness in knowledge and yoga, that's what he had told, that śrībhagavānuvāca. That steadfastness, with that steadfastness, stick to even one of these attributes. We will automatically start attracting others. And these are just a few that Sri Krishna has listed in the first shloka. He is going to further elaborate, further tell us about many more attributes like this that are found in the beings who are divinely oriented. So that is for our reading of the first shloka of the 16th adhyaya of Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.